So I recently picked up this Deluxe Reverb on Gumtree for a reasonable price. It's got a Celestion A-type speaker in it, which is basically Celestion's version of a Jensen. It's a little bit more old school sounding. I think it's a little bit more scooped than your average Celestion, but it does sound pretty good with the Deluxe Reverb. I compared it to some vintage 30s and other speakers, and it seems to match up pretty well. It's not too bright. It doesn't sound great for high gain, but for that I've got the Orange Dark Terror with some vintage 30s anyway, so that's not really the idea for this amp. But the questions it did raise was that the SV20 is somewhat redundant for me. It does a very unique thing. It does it about 10 to 20% better than the Deluxe, I think. But that's the main thing we're going to be listening to today. We're going to be cranking each amp into my Torpedo Captor 16 ohm loadbox. So there is a bit of a mismatch because the Deluxe, I think, is spec'd to go into an 8 ohm load, but we're not going to worry about that too much. So obviously the SV20 will be paired 16 ohms straight into the 16 ohm load box. Have done some brief comparisons already before starting recording the video, and it's hard to say. I almost think that the Deluxe Reverb can cop 99% of the SV20 tones, at least into a load box. Things change when we do it into real cabs, but for the most part, I think I prefer the Deluxe, and I am considering selling the SV20 with how much the Deluxe can do. So the only thing to note is that if we max everything on the SV20, it seems to have more gain available than most Fenders. You don't want to crank them up to 10. They can't really handle it as well as, a vintage style Marshall like this. It's better off sitting around 6 or 7 and then boosting it with a pedal the rest of the way. Likewise, the bright channel, even though both amps have quite a bright sound and a bright capacitor in the circuit that makes them so sparkly clean, the Deluxe definitely gets a bit shrill when you're boosting the vibrato channel. Whereas, the SV20 does it as well. Everyone knows about it, but I think it can handle it more. You get less of that breaking glass sort of sound. So we're going to boost the normal channel of the Deluxe, and we'll probably just compare that to the bright channel, or we'll have the channels jumped of the SV. Going to see how close we can get for like a really fuzzy cranked rock sound from the Deluxe compared to the SV. I'm going to plug my Strat straight into the SV20 for all the sounds in the video. For the Deluxe, we're going to be going through pedals to get there, so there will be some tone loss or whatever from not directly connecting the guitar to the amp, and we're going to try and gain that back by using the pedals to shape the sound in the way that we want. Get a bit of a mid boost going on, and maybe just add a little bit of compression and clipping.